Hey, what's going on, guys? Just wanted to hop on here for one moment and talk to you about why you should get you a Harley CVO. So, I was on a vlog this morning going over some conversations and debates about another vlogger about his CVO and some of the parts, and talking about, he was basically going over and discussing why you should or why you shouldn't get a CVO, and he was basically trying to sell everyone on his CVO and all his parts and all his mods, and he did ask the opinion. So of course, when I gave this guy, particular individual, my opinion, of course he decided to get butthurt. Okay, called me disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because I gave him my opinion on how I felt, what my opinion was on the CVO. So to kind of give you guys a little backstory, last year I purchased my 2017 Road Glide Special. Okay. Previous to that, I have 3 buddies who all own Harleys. One of them owns a Road Glide, the other 2 own Street Glides, and all their bikes are custom. I'm talking wheels, I'm talking audio, seats, everything. Everything on the bikes is custom. And I did research. I was going back and forth. I knew I wanted a touring bike. I looked at the Road Kings, I looked at the Street Glides, I looked at the Road Glides, and I couldn't make my mind up. Until eventually last year, we went out looking for one of my buddies was thinking about upgrading his bike, and I went out with him, and he also bought his lady a bike. He bought his lady a Street Bob, and I went with them, and I was looking at a bike, and we actually found a damn good deal on the Road Glide that I actually ended up purchasing. And it was mostly because I ended up getting a real solid deal on it. It was in really good. It was in really good condition. The miles were decent on it, and on top of that, it wasn't a CVO, but it was a special, and it had CVO features on it. Like, for example, it had the CVO rear fender. It had the CVO lights on it, and it also had the CVO because it had the CVO lights, and it had the CVO bags on it. You know what I mean? Which I thought was pretty dope and it's different from my buddies because none of them have any of the bikes with the CVO features. None of my buddies have CVOs. So anyhow, talking to this guy, as I was doing more and more research on my wheels, on just custom parts, fairings, bags, sounds, audio, on everything I've been doing my research on since I bought my bike last year. And even before that, I already knew that I wasn't going to jump out there and spend 45, 50 grand on a CVO. And here's why. Okay? This is why you should not buy a CVO. Okay? I know there are people who are going to buy, who's going to do it. And listen, I'm not going to count anybody's price, and I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their money because I'm going to do what the hell I want to do with my money, and that's just how it works. You work for your money, and you can get what you want to get. But the main purpose of my video, of me doing vlogs, is to educate people and to inform people, give people good content and good information so that they can make informed decisions and informed purchases. Because you best believe I have no envy about purchasing my Road Glide whatsoever, but I do have regrets on purchases I have made for aftermarket parts and some Harley parts that I was not informed of, and I wish someone had told me. So therefore, I'm going to tell you guys my take, my experiences, my information about the CVO. Okay, at the end of the day, the CVO is a beast. It is a dynamic bike. I don't have anything necessarily bad or negative to say about the CVO. But, as my old man would say, as my pop would say, everything ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a fraction of the people who have the disposable income to spend 50 grand on a bike or pay $1,000 note for a bike per month. Yeah, there's a certain that's for some people, but that ain't for most people. Let's just keep it honest. I don't know too many people that's willing to sit up here and pay $1,000 bike note. You understand? Play 45, 50 grand, for a motorcycle. This ain't even your primary vehicle. Okay. Anyhow, as I was basically doing up a tally on all the modifications that I made on my bike after I made my initial purchase for the bike last year, and I easily came up to $20,000 in roughly $20,000 in modifications that I have already done and I am in the progress of doing. I haven't spent $20,000 yet in under a year, but with everything that I plan on doing to my bike, once it's probably all said and done, I'm going to be about probably between $20,000 and $25,000 in, and that's just for a special that I bought. Okay, and listen, I want you to understand this, because I'm a person who believes in getting the gratuity out of everything, getting the gratuity out of my investment. My bike is an investment. I mean, in other words, I'm putting money into it, meaning that I plan on getting the value out of it. I plan on getting something back out of it. I'm not just blowing my money off, just to say I have a bike, just to say I have a CVO. Because in essence, when you get the Harley and you get the CVO, you're automatically going to play an upcharge just for the simple fact that it has the CVO badge. Okay? And that's like any other A-tier manufacturer badge. When you buy the Mercedes, you're automatically going to pay an initial upcharge for if you get the AMG. That's their that's their top-notch package. You understand? It's the same thing if you like trucks, GMC. You get the Denali. You understand? You're automatically, before you even decide that you want to add any special features, anything additional to it, you understand? Just that badge alone. I learned that just the badge alone from the manufacturers, just to have that special edition. You go to Ford, you want to get a King Ranch, or you want to get a Platinum, you want to get the Longhorn, you want to get the High Country. Those badges, if you look at the price tag, the sticker on the truck, the price tag alone might run you anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, and that's without the features that's supposed to come with that package. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that. My thing is this: if I'm going to pay 45 to 50 grand for that price, with patience, okay, and creativity, I can build my own CVO killer. And honestly, probably come out a little bit cheaper than 50 grand, okay? Because I'm already with upgrading from a 19 to a 26-inch wheel. That put me at with all the accessories that come with the wheel, the rake kit, the fender, the rotors, everything. That put me at about $5,000 right there, okay? That put me at $5,000. The audio, I upgraded to, I looked at some Hertz. I decided to go with Diamond Audio and a sound digital amp. By the time I bought all the accessories for that, I was roughly over $2,000 for a stage 2 setup, which I'm still going to stage it out to stage 3 with mid basses in my bags. That's probably going to upgrade. That's probably going to be about another $2,000. So it's safe to say, when I'm done with the audio, you're looking at $4,000. So wheel $5,000, audio $4,000, that's 9. Let's say roughly bump it up to 10. Okay. When you start talking about your engine, your performance, your drivetrain, here's the catch with that. When you get a CVO, you're basically getting a 117 that stage. But here's the crazy part about that is that Harley makes other engines for the same price, for the same powertrain and engine that you get with the CVO. You can actually come out cheaper to spend $5,000 to get your engine staged out, or to put a whole new block in there. You can put a whole new block, put a whole new manifold inside the Harley for $5,000 and have that staged out, and it will still outperform a CVO. You understand? Are y'all getting this now? even with the four speaker 2-stage setup, the audio setup that comes with the CVO, you're getting about 600 watts when you can easily get 1,200, even 2,000, a 2,000 watt setup, you understand, out of that CVO. You understand, whether it's a Road Glide, Street Glide, Road King, it doesn't matter. I mean, are you guys getting it? And this is the main reason why I said for the price, the guy was upset about me saying that, the CVO, and I felt like for the price that you're paying, you're getting mediocre. I never said this dude's bike was mediocre. His bike was actually pretty nice. You know what I mean? And again, this guy, and here's the crazy part. This is what he didn't even mention. He spent MSRP retail 45 grand, almost 50 grand on a bike, and guess what? He still had to make modifications to the bike. He still changed out the bars. Probably spent another 600, 700, 800 there. I don't think he changed out the wheels, but he still had to. You still got to tweak it and put your own flavor on it. So I'm like, man, you're actually over. You know what I mean? You're going over 50 grand just to make the bike your own. So, in my opinion, it's good to start out with a base model, and it's actually even better to start out like what I did. If you start out with a special, if you start out with a special, you'll automatically get the I don't know, right now with the 2021s, you automatically get a 114. If you get the 114, you getting it blacked out. You already have the Harley GTS infotainment. That's a great start right there. Add your wheel 5. I mean, and you may not want a 26. You may want a 23. You may want a fat tire. You may like to get a CVO wheel. You know what I mean? So it may not even cost you 5 grand. But basically, I paid under 20,000 for my bike. I paid under 20 grand for my bike, and at 20 grand, I'll have wheels. I'll have everything on my bike will basically be able to outperform this CVO. I'm talking about even to the point once I get my paint done. I already got the guy to price me out for the paint scheme that I want. The paint scheme that I want on the bike is going to roughly cost me 3 grand. Okay, so I'm basically still a little bit, I'm a little bit over 40. I'm just a little bit over 40. I'm already 10 grand. I'm already 10 grand cheaper than what this dude just paid for his CVO, and everything on my bike is outperforming his. And it's not a and guys, I want you to understand this. It's not about it being a competition. But what I'm saying is it's about getting the gratuity out of what you pay for. Okay? You're paying for this bike. You're paying top-notch dollar for a bike, and you're not getting top-notch. You're not getting all top-notch equipment. You understand what I'm saying? You're getting mediocre. I mean, and don't get me wrong, the stuff they put on this, the paint, the trim, that stuff looks nice, but beyond that, what I'm just saying, guys, is for the type of money that you put into a CVO, you can be getting a lot much more. Or hypothetically, you can save more money. You can be working on a whole nother project. I mean, maybe you want a slingshot. Maybe you want to put a lift on your truck. I mean, maybe you want a Hellcat or a Mustang or a Corvette or another collector's item, or maybe you want to do some stuff to your house. I mean, my thing is, I just look to get the gratuity out of everything. I know I've said that 100 times before, guys. So I'm done with my rant, but guys, that is why you should or you should not get a CVO. Get the CVO if you have the money and you don't have the time, you don't have the patience to do the build, to sit down and do the build. If you just want it, not to say, if you want it you're just a person that want it fresh out the box. You just want it low-key, show ready to get on the road. I mean, you just kind of got a nice package all put together, and you just ready to ride out into the sunset, ready to hit Daytona, ready to hit Black Bike Week, ready to hit Sturgis. I mean, go ahead and do it. But at the same time, you're going to want to put your own flavor on it, want to put your own personal touch on it, knowing that most of America is not getting ready to spend $1,000 a month, okay, of disposable income okay, for one of their toys. Or honestly, just cash it out and drop 50 grand. I mean, most people not even dropping 50 grand on their primary source of transportation, okay? So I understand everything isn't for everyone, but guys, that is why you should or should not get the CVO. It's all about pros and cons, guys. All right. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you like the video. Give me your opinion on your mods, your bikes, and why you would or would not get a CVO. All right, y'all. Holla back.